With the market playing seesaw and volatility on the rise, what's in store for tomorrow? I'll break it all down, but before that, there is the closing bell with the S&Ps down about 16 points. You can see we're going negative on the week. Just zooming out here a bit, you just take a look at it. Monday we started negative. We got positive in the latter part of yesterday due to technology. We went sideways today, and ultimately at 2 p.m. we just crumbled due to the Fed beige book being released. Now we take a look at this on a daily. Remember, we're coming into this week expecting 58 points in the options market. You can see we're negative now, and 58 down would take us to 4,070. So I think that's going to play very strong support if we see selling to get there. However, more specific, if we see selling, it's going to be led by the Nasdaq. And just taking a look at the Nasdaq today, it's down over 1%. When we look at it on its expected move, it's about neutral on the week. So if we do see some selling in the Nasdaq, the lower edge this week is 13,518, which should play some very strong support. However, I think last week's upper edge at 13,626, we spent a good amount of time in this area, would play some stronger support before hitting that lower edge. So selling does pick up tomorrow. Look for around that area to play very strong support. However, on the flip side, when we take a look at the Russell 2000, it's up 1% on the day. Its upper edge is going to play around 2293. However, for the most part, it's about slightly positive on the week. So we can see money is rotating out of technology on today's tape. However, when we take a look at the bonds, they're about flat on the day, down 12 basis points. Nothing going on in the bonds. They haven't quite gotten their continuation breakout. However, on the flip side, we see the TNX is up 0.92% today, sitting at a 1.63%. We can see today it gave some growth stock names some stress. However, I think for the most part, technology is just trying to get comfortable with rates kind of consolidating in this range, and we're very close to coming to that moment. However, when we take a look at the VIX, the VVIX specifically, it's up 8.7% today. Just looking how it traded, we just erupted to 110 and we're getting whacked a bit. So in the bigger picture here, volatility is back on the rise, even looking at the futures. Now there's only 7 days left in these, not the best read, but when we look at the VIX, it got as low as 1538. So it was a well-needed bounce in volatility, and we're back sitting at a 17, which is still very, very low. I think tomorrow will paint a better picture in what's going to happen with volatility and ultimately what this market wants to do. So let's take a look under the hood and see what's going on across the board in our sectors. And taking a look today, we see the XLE on top, up close to 3%. We see the financials up about 0.6%. and we see the industrials up 13 basis points. So for the most part today, we're seeing value see a nice boost, and they all are in the green. Hence, you even see the TNX in the green. However, some financials had some good earnings this morning. On the flip side, we see healthcare about flat on the day and consumer staples about flat on the day. It's these growth stock names and software down 0.85. XLK, the broader tech, down 1%, and our big five down close to 1.5%. So you can see today, Apple's really taking it. Microsoft down 1.12, Amazon down close to 2, Google down about 0.5%, and Facebook 2.25. Even Tesla's down close to 4%, which all adds up to a red Nasdaq, which is our worst index on the day. So ultimately, heading into tomorrow, I would like to see, what does volatility do? Is it going to continue to rise, and how much more is technology going to sell off? With the value name stocks up today, industrials, energy, financials, it kind of kept the market in place. But when you have the big five down as much as they are, it brought the S&Ps under with it. We can see it's down 0.25%. However, you see the Dow that's up 0.25%, as well as the Russell that's up over 1%. So we're seeing rotation. It's just not everybody on the same page. Let's move on over and take a look at our dollar index and see what's going on. And we take a look at the dollar, it's down about 0.25%. So with yields up today, the dollar is still weakening. Due to the dollar falling, we saw crude oil today that's up over 4.5%. After being consolidating, crude is breaking to the upside, and it helped lift the XLE higher. We move on over to gold, and we see gold's down about 60 basis points, $10 for the most part. Gold is just kind of going sideways around this 1730 area. Bitcoin, on the other hand, today was down 2%, put a new high in the futures, and Coinbase had its IPO today. So for the most part, Bitcoin is cooling down a bit, but I want to show some of my charts for a better look. Taking a look at the Coinbase chart, you can see this pitchfork gave it a lot of stress, and we got rejected at 64.8 area. Coming back down, how low can we go? I do have a crossover here around the 17th. My theory is a lot of Coinbase guys that have been in it early are going to sell. The money settles, and we could possibly see that money rotate into Bitcoin come the weekend once their money settles. However, when we take a look at our Binance chart, you can see the 64.3 rejected coming back down. Where are we going to fall? And then we have a Bitstamp chart, and you can see this pitchfork right here, around 61,000, call it. So 60,000 played a very hard wall to climb. Now we're over it. Will it play a strong support? So coming down to this pitchfork, maybe hovering it, could give us some consolidation, waiting to get back up, but ultimately cooling off is all right in Bitcoin. It's volatile, but hey, without volatility, we wouldn't be at these current levels. But overall, if you want to get in the space, just zoom out a bit and just take a look at this thing. And the trend is your friend, and it looks like we're just getting started in the crypto party. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. So today we saw volatility on the rise. We also saw technology take a pretty steep fall. How much lower will these tech names go? It's going to come down to what the yields want to do. But for the most part, I think the yields are just trying to stabilize. And ultimately, we're printing so much money, it just makes sense for just the basket to go all up with it. So today, we saw industrials, financials, energy kind of bail this market out. Otherwise, it would have been a lot worse. However, once everybody gets on the same page and they're clicking, I think this market could be making all-time highs and beyond. If you watch this far, it really means a lot if you guys can hit the thumbs up, show some support, and if you're watching me for the first time, hit that subscribe button. It really mean a lot if you guys can do that. Any comments or questions for me, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. Where do you guys see the market going? I'd love to hear you guys' opinions. But on that note, I will see you in the next one. Have a great night. Take care. Peace!